Hello, everybody. This is Elisha Keating from WisdomSeekers.net, and we're here today with this, that, and another thing. You can ask questions about what we're talking about, but no interactive. We save that for Sundays, please. And we're here with Maddie. Hi, Maddie.
Hi,
How are you doing?
I'm uh, I'm fine. A little
Just
scatterbrained today, but I'm fine.
just a bit busy, right?
Yes, it's gonna be nice when there's nothing left to do.
Ah,
That's all right. I
yes.
think tomorrow. I think tomorrow I have a day that I can just putz around and do what I need to do.
Okay.
But I think what I'm gonna do is go get some of those Roma tomatoes and make some of this tomato jam that Jeanette sent me the recipe to.
That sounds
So
fun.
it's delicious. Yeah, so I don't have to bug her. I don't have to bug her every time I want some. And then she makes the most awesome zucchini pickles too.
Oh, cool.
Or like a sweet and sour pickle, like a yum yum. Oh, they're so good.
Huh? We have four people watching, but
But
nobody
nobody's talking.
talking. But we haven't started talking, so they don't know whether they want to ask questions, do they?
Yeah, we'll get them going.
Yeah.
So we have, what were we just looking at? The solar, we have a solar eclipse coming in March.
Yeah, except it's kind of vague about the actual time.
Mm-hmm.
Some say the 13th, 14th, and the other one said the 29th. And yeah, we do. So we're going to go with 13th, 14th. That's when hey, Susan, hi. And hi, Queen the Goddess. So I suspect that's probably when it is because that's when the majority of the things are saying it's going to occur. And so as it's 13, 14, it'll happen. It will start on obviously the 13th, probably around midnight or 12, 11 o'clock and go forward from there. Because
Well, what did I just read? It lasts for about 4 hours, and we will get the total eclipse all across Canada.
yeah, and other people say we'll get it on the eastern coast and not here. So yeah, it's kind of up in the air right now. I think we
Hmm.
look for something that's different. So Queen Gladys says, Maddie's pendulum was right on Sunday. I am not pregnant. I am so happy about this. I found out from my doctor's appointment today that I am not awesome.
Good.
Thank you, Maddie, for your accuracy.
Oh, you're very welcome, and I'm so happy it was accurate for you.
Yeah.
It
And
seems to be accurate for everybody else. It just doesn't like to be accurate for me.
oh, that's pretty normal. But you're physically okay, Queen Goddess?
Yeah, everything worked out okay, and you're healthy, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, it's important. Health is important. And right now, people who are on the spiritual path are going through a lot of physical reactions and everything like that. And
Hmm.
you're going to find you're extra tired. At least everybody I talk to is extra tired. And okay, so I'm physically okay. That's good.
Um, so I'm going to read my little blip. Is that all right?
Sure.
So we have Venus is entering Aries. It says Venus, the goddess of love and relationship, is moved into the sexy, fiery sign of Aries on February 4th. That was yesterday. Right in the middle of Aquarius season. The sun is in Aquarius, making the cosmic energies and influences extra fiery, passionate, and sexy. Ha! She is the hot woman. The girl is on fire. Venus in Aries is a warrior goddess, a fighting feminist, and an aggressive, competitive Wonder Woman incarnate.
That sounds like women in general.
Yeah. Well,
We
this is
don't have a choice, do
pretty
we?
much all about women in general, I think,
Mhm.
for this next little bit. Venus in Aries powers up new loves on all levels. Like popular media, all the female superheroes, Black Widow, Supergirl, Wonder Woman, Xena, Hippolyta, Katniss Everdeen of the Hunger Games, or ancient goddesses Diana or Athena, the goddess of war. Brigid, she is fierce, fearless, strong, and a risk taker who fights back and demands her rights. Sports superstars like Serena Williams and performers like Madonna, Beyonce, Miley Cyrus, Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, and Rihanna. Women like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, artist Judy Chicago, activist Gloria Steinem, and Alice Walker, and a whole hostess of others. Women, by virtue of being born feminine, are naturally powerful. They hold all the power, as they always have, especially during Venus in Aries. During this cycle, women will demand their right to choose their own ways and will not tolerate any artificial religious belief or outside authority to try to control them at all. So when millions of women get together in their power, watch out. That's totally Venus in Aries. The goddess of love, beauty, values, arts, and relationships ignites a hot new feminine love, warrior like energy. Venus in Aries teaches the macho, more masculine signs about being more feminine during this cycle. Wake up, men. During this cycle, women will be much more impatient, energized, in fight mode, also willing to stand up for themselves, plus competitive and aggressive. Venus in Aries chooses everything for herself, and she would rather be alone, like the goddess Lilith, than compromise anything. Most men cannot walk in those mile-high stilettos that many women force themselves to wear, but women sure can put on their Nike running shoes and go to war like goddess Athena. Nike has named, Nike was named in her honor, by the way.
Did not know that.
I did not know that either. Venus in Aries is traditionally considered in detriment, as she is in Mars' home sign and Aries. Major tarot major arcana for Venus in Aries. Number 3 is the symbol of Venus, the Empress. Number 4 is the symbol of Mars, the Emperor. So check out how Venus affects you and where new love and passions enter the picture during this cycle. Venus rules love, which is the greatest power there is. Check out the list of celebrities with natal Venus in Aries to see if they match up as strong individual, fiery, risk-taking, and independent people. Famous people, Venus and Aries. Do we really need to know that? We don't really need to know that. They just name all the women and all the men.
Yeah.
And then we have, the astro update for today. These are all from Ruby Page, by the way. She's from Facebook. The moon spends the day in stabilizing Taurus, but the first quarter moon phase occurs today when the sun in Aquarius forms a tense square with the moon in Taurus. It's a time of inner crisis, always the case during any quarter moon phase, as we can feel pushed to take action and do something impulsively. We start to recognize the impact of our actions have on the people around us, which is often learned due to some drama. Any project or initiative we began during the last new moon is out there, and there might be some challenges. This time might be marked by stress, conflicts, disagreements. However, it can also be a time of heightened energy, strong motivation, and personal growth. With the Taurus moon, we tend to seek out what is simple, comfortable, and predictable. We are naturally drawn to people or situations that are tried and true and have stood the test of time. However, it's important for us to embrace change and progress, as making small adjustments to our daily routines can be beneficial. And then I guess Jupiter's direct also. So allow yourself to take up space. Now, now is the time to implement what you've learned. Jupiter opens doors, but you have to walk through them.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
Yeah. Remain grateful. Remaining grateful raises your vibrations and attracts more abundance. With a fearless heart, I know my wisdom will lead me to my new opportunities. I trust the unfolding of my journey, knowing that my words will shape the abundant future that I am ready to embrace. So that's good.
That sounds good.
So that's about all I've got.
Yeah. So for me, I've noticed just noticed that people are very tired, and it's like too much is happening in people's lives. They don't have time to think straight. They don't have time to catch up. And a lot of people are doing that. And people who are on the spiritual path, some of them are pushing too hard. They want to get things done now. And I think that's a sense of because we're moving into a new timeline, a new well, we're going from the from the old to the new, from the Piscean into the Aquarian age, and we're pretty close to fully there. We can't take the old energy with us. So
Right.
what I've been telling people lately is that all the lifetimes are accumulating in this lifetime. So even if you haven't had a problem in a certain area, but you have had it in other lifetimes, it's coming in to be cleared up. And you'll find that should be a simple cleanup, because it's not one of the things that impact you on a deep level. It's just something that, yeah, it's time to clean it up. And
Yeah.
so we jump forward. We're in a rush to get everything done. And honestly, we don't have to be in a rush, because things will happen as they are supposed to happen. They always do.
Yeah.
It's that divine timing stuff that we don't like.
Well, they just say, yeah, to just take it easy, don't rush anything, rest as much as you can. If you don't get it done today, no biggie. Don't stress about it.
Sometimes all you have to do to get rid of a problem is tell the universe, I choose to get rid of this. But the trick is you have to mean it. And sometimes all you have to do is say, I choose to get rid of it, and then forget about it. And the universe will actually take care of it for you.
I have to let Charlie in.
Because basically, when we have to work at letting something go, it's in resistance to letting it go. And well, because we as human beings like control, it makes it difficult for us to go with the flow. And we don't want to go with the flow anymore. That's an old concept. We want to be the flow, which, if you think about it, is totally different from going with the flow, because you're separate from the flow if you go with the flow. But if you are the flow, then you want what the universe wants, and the universe wants what you want. And people all over the place are going, think very clearly what you want. Be very particular what you want, because if you choose a guy, but you forget to say, I want a full head of hair, you might get the perfect guy, but bald, which I've heard, which I know has happened to to a lady. But the thing is, now you want to you want to be less specific. You want to be the flow. So when you see that perfect guy or that perfect gal, you just know that's the right one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Well, sure. I mean, I've always been attracted to a certain type of guy my whole life.
yeah.
Now all of a sudden, I'm not. I'm attracted to somebody that I would never be attracted to. I mean, like the physical features.
Yeah,
So it's I
I
think
thought,
things are just taking a change for sure.
yeah. Well, if I look at the guys that I liked over the decades, they all look physically totally different. I've always been attracted to people who are highly intelligent. So, and I still am. I still like people who are really smart.
Oh yeah. I mean that one never changed, but I think it's more the physical features that
But the first guy I met that I fell in love with, he was big man, big muscles, good looking. Second one, tiny. He was my height, but he wasn't big, but he's really smart. And the third one, he was just hot as sin and smart. But that's, but they all three have different hair, different skin tones, different eyes.
mhm.
Though I must admit, I do like nice hands.
Hmm.
With a man has nice hands, I find that so attractive.
I've never ever looked at the hands.
Oh, I love hands. Susan says me too. Also, good butts.
Well, that always helps.
Oh, definitely. Uh, yeah, Susan, you have good taste in men, right? I know Susan for years.
I'm assuming Susan is somebody that's been on here before. I don't think I know her.
Susan Gemmel, yeah, she's been on off and on, but I know her. I've read for her for years and years and years. And after a few years, you become really good friends.
Yeah.
I may never meet her in the physical, but we're good friends.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you don't need to meet them.
Oh, like
I mean, I've got so many
Carol
Facebook
down,
friends that I find so near and dear to my heart, yet I've never ever met them.
yeah. Well,
But I
like
would drop
Carol down
anything for them.
Oz,
Hmm.
like Carol down in Oz. She's a good friend.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, but it's kind of cool meeting people. Well, I've met people from all over the world, but it's kind of cool that way. As Susan says, one time I was kind of off with my man selection, cute but not smart. Yeah, no,
Cute, but dumb
sometimes
as a bag of nails.
sometimes you have to go with, wow, is that a cute butt?
Well, maybe you just have fun with that.
Yeah. Sometimes you just what a girl just gotta have fun.
Yeah, isn't that the truth?
And Susan says, "Yeah, you're my people." And like I say, we talk back and forth, and she'll send me information on. Well, I won't say it on live, but because it's which I find very fascinating, and I'll send her information. I'll send her information back about other things like Ben Bickman, for instance. I think that guy is just amazing. And he talks about insulin resistance, right? And he says most people in North America are insulin resistant, and that causes a lot of our physical problems.
Hmm.
And it's reversible. And with his information, it is reversible. So which is kind of cool. But uh, yeah. Susan says, that's right. But she's then what's it? Is it Brockman? What's the name of the guy you tell me about, Susan? He's one of my favorite people too, but I can't pull his name up off the top of my head. I like I like YouTubes that talk about health and things like that. Because, well, I learn a lot. I talked to AI yesterday, and I asked it about methylene blue, and it gave me a whole list of information on it. And he says, "Have you thought?" And he says you can take it with hyaluronic acid. He said, "If you take hyaluronic acid, you should take chondroitin." And I go, "Oh, I didn't know that." So I learned a lot. I learned a lot about, yeah, Huberman. That's right, Andrew. Yeah, I'm sure everybody on here knows of Andrew Huberman, right? He's just an insanely intelligent man.
I had
Science.
never even heard of him.
You're kidding. My guy is just amazing speaker.
Mm,
Uh, and he's also good looking, which doesn't hurt.
that always helps.
It really does. I mean, yeah. But Ben Bickman, he's a scientist. He went to Singapore, and then he came back, and he and his wife obviously came back. But when I first noticed him, he was in Singapore, and I thought that's a weird place for an American to be, but scientist. But he was there with a really good um, his boss, and he was there with a really good, well-known professor.
Hmm.
Don't have a clue what his name was.
Hmm.
So
He's a
Huberman is a neuroscientist.
neuroscience professional at Stanford.
Oh yeah, yeah. Anybody goes to Stanford, it's probably got an IQ of 135 plus, right? With you're going to be a professor there.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would look him up. If you don't know who Andrew Huberman is, he has information on so many things, and most of it has to do with health. And because health is extremely important for spiritual growth or just survival, he's worth looking into.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I shall do that.
I figured you meant Professor Susan. My phone keeps changing what I write.
Oh, mine
Yeah,
too.
yeah, and it's very frustrating. But if I take the predictive text off, it also takes how you spell things off.
Yeah.
I cannot spell. Oh, even with the spell check, I can't spell. Susan says his podcasts are heard for education to the public, so usually easy to follow. Yeah, he's very. Some professors, like my daughter Jen, she's in university and she's saying this course she's taking, the teacher probably has only taught it one, maybe this is the second course, but she speaks at such a high level, nobody understands what she's saying.
Well, that's not helpful.
No, and that happens with a lot of professors. They know their information so well. They talk way up here. And but she also says she's got another professor in another area, and he's really interesting and easy to follow. But okay. So yeah. So but it's some professors, they're just too smart.
Hmm. Oh, brother.
Well, Susan lives in Atlanta,
Hmm.
and she works in she works in the healing area of Atlanta, in the medical profession.
Hmm.
And so she runs into a lot of doctors and a lot of so she understands what we're talking about.
I'm just reading this little thing from well, I clicked onto Pam Gregory because she was right there, but she just put this little thing up saying in 2025, everything changes forever. A 1 in 12,000 year cosmic shift is happening now.
Yep. That's the moving from Piscean to Atlantean, not Atlantean,
Aquarian.
Aquarian.
Yeah. So it should be interesting. I can't believe that we're already in almost the middle of February.
It is the 5th already. And it's a
Yeah.
short month this month.
And somebody said January was the longest year ever. And I said, February's coming up. It could be the shortest one.
Well, well, I kind of hope it lasts. I'm not sure because what's happening up in Canada is we're getting we're not allowed to say it on YouTube anymore. So it's the F word, Azar.
Can't say the F word anymore?
Nope.
Really?
That's
Boy, that's going to throw a crimp into a lot of the videos I watch.
Yeah. So the F words are the drug czar is we're going to get one, which I think should be really exciting and positive because especially here in BC.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, I just heard that they had just busted one of the biggest drug
Lord, yeah,
in Falkland.
in
Falkland.
Falkland.
Yeah.
They've got 3 others that they haven't busted, but they know of.
Mm.
And hopefully they keep going. Yeah, big changes this year.
Yeah.
But they need to go to jail and they need to stay there. Mm-hmm. I guess one of the kingpins got 18 or 19 years. Wow. I just saw the headline. I didn't read the article.
Frocking frick crazy.
You can't say, you have to say
well, we can say frocking.
You have to say on the live.
Say frocking.
Yeah.
I like that, frocking. That's going to be my new word.
I like that word too, yeah.
But go for frocking sakes.
Yeah, well, it's better than biatch, isn't it? But yeah, there's for our sakes, not because of the border, but for our sakes, this is really good news.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have 1% of the problem can kill each Canadian twice over. Yeah, I think it's pretty important that we get things cleaned up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that kind of just coincides with big changes that are coming in 2025, I think, right?
Absolutely. And look at Frick Frog Freddy frickin'.
Oh, Susan, you're funny.
She raised 3 kids, right? So she knows how things work. 3 or 4 kids, pardon me. I think I might be missing one child, but
3, 4, still makes you want to pull your hair out.
After 3, it's just one more.
It's just a number.
Actually, I wouldn't have minded having 3 more kids. As long as I didn't have to be pregnant to have them.
I guess I don't know. I don't know how that would have worked. I don't know how that would have worked if I would have had 3 kids with 2 of them passing away. I don't know if I would have put so much energy into the last one that would be alive, or if I would just totally.
But you couldn't know that ahead of time. You couldn't make the choice. And so of course you're going to put the energy into it because you don't stop loving her because she's not here.
No.
Because her energy transitioned, it didn't leave. Mm-hmm. And she's around. How many people do you talk to who say she came in and helped me? just every day.
Yeah.
Anyhow, yeah, clean up there. Then you'll be the 51st state. Only Alberta wants to be the 51st state.
Well, I said after Florida got all that snow, I said, I think that we're not going to be your 51st state. You're going to be our 11th province.
She said she didn't want to hear it, a big mess. Eh, You know, when I heard that, I thought it was the most funniest thing possible. And I still think it's hilarious because if you think about it, Trump is a Republican. The majority of Canadians are would be equal to Democrats. Why would they want more of them? Yeah, well, come up and you take our prime minister and throw him in the ocean, then we won't have a big mess.
Yeah, you can just take him and do whatever the hell you want with him. Can I
Yeah.
say that? Can I say that?
Oh, you already did, so sure. But you know what? Canadians are, except for right now, Canadians and being Canadian, except for the frickin' winter, which I don't like, but a lot of people do. It's good. It's a good place to be.
It is. I mean, I love being a Canadian. I love being in Canada, other than the winters. Mind you, we've only had, what, 3 days of winter?
Oh yeah, and then it got cold. Even
No,
my dog
we've
couldn't
had a great
walk
winter up
around.
until about 4 days ago, and then it was like in 2 days we got all the snow that we should have got for the whole winter.
But yeah,
It's
but
a good thing that I can just hunker down in my house or my bed and do whatever the heck I want and don't have to go anywhere. Because I, I probably would have gotten fired for my job if I had to work because I would have said, sorry, I'm not coming in.
our osteopath said, you should go outside. It's sunny today. And I said, it's cold, but you need the vitamin D. And I said, I'll get that out of a bottle, thank you.
You should, though, get outside a little bit more, Elisha, just to get the
I
fresh
do, but
air
not,
into
I
you.
do. When it's not cold, I don't, we go for a walk with Jelly Bean.
Hmm.
She sits there and cries at us until we do, but not going out in the cold. Mm.
No, it's actually, I was surprised that it wasn't as bad once I actually got out there. Mind you, I had my
But
long, my long, big, heavy winter coat on and a big scarf and gloves, and
yeah,
I was actually too warm.
yeah, no, it's a dry cold, so it's not so bad.
Hmm.
It's when it gets humid that you die in the cold. Yeah. So, yeah,
Suzanne says she'd rather be a Canadian.
I think a lot of Americans
Oh, yeah,
would,
on a lot of groups that I'm on, they're like, "Oh my God, if I could go to Canada, I would be there in a heartbeat."
except most Americans would not like the cold weather.
Well, it's not like they don't have cold weather down there.
Yeah, but a
They
lot of
get
them,
snow, they get winter, just not in the southern parts. Well, can't say that now.
they are.
Can't say that anymore. Florida had winter.
Yeah. Well, Susan,
Louisiana,
yeah, yeah, Texas, Florida.
yeah.
So I do know Susan has relatives up in Canada too.
Oh, do you? Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think most Americans have ties to Canada somehow or other.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm finding that I've got ties to the States with my ancestors.
Yeah, well, my family too. My mother used to go to the States to go for family reunions with the Wishart family.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have never gone, but I'm not that.
Well, I don't even know if I'm pretty sure I've got relatives down there, and I'm pretty sure that they have no clue that they have Canadian relatives.
You'd be surprised. I mean, mom went down there, well, that was 20 years ago now, obviously. But and she made friends with a bunch of these people.
Hmm. Well,
Yeah.
they actually in Wisconsin have a statue of my great 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 grandfather as he founded Wisconsin and founded Lake Superior.
Founded Lake Superior.
discovered Lake Superior. Named it Lake Superior, I guess.
Oh, cool. That's
Yeah.
really, yeah,
Yeah. So just for that, I would like to go to Wisconsin just to go and see his statue.
yeah, that would be actually really nice, or at least get somebody to take a picture of it for you, right?
Yeah, that would be cool. I
Yeah,
mean, I've seen pictures of it on when I've Googled him, but not
yeah,
quite the same. Not quite the same as actually being there.
yeah. We have my cousin went to Scotland. I think it was Scotland, and there we have a common ancestor, George Wishart, who was hung, quartered, and burned at the stake because he was one of the early Protestants.
Oh, good Lord.
And there's a statue of him with a thing of it there.
Hmm.
So obviously, most of my relatives are Protestant, and not me. As I told somebody the other day, I'm a heathen.
I'm not really. I mean, I was raised Catholic, but I do not associate with being a Roman Catholic.
Once a Catholic, always a Catholic. Don't you know that?
Apparently so.
Anyhow, Susan says, "Whoa, that's really cool about Lake Superior."
Isn't it? I was, had a little pride in me that day when I read all that stuff about him.
You should have. I mean, that's your lineage.
Hmm.
People should be proud of their lineage.
Hmm. And then my ancestors also started Canada too. So
But mine were back there too. My ancestors were one of the early settlers as well.
I think the same one that did this was the first European Frenchman to marry a native woman legally.
Yeah, hey, we might be related because my ancestor did the same thing.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe we are.
yeah,
I
because
wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it if I'm related to 95% of the people in Canada.
well, yeah, I think anybody who's got half Native American, they're probably from the East anyhow, earlier, we probably are related.
Hmm.
Because back then, it was the young guys that came over from Europe, EU, Scotland, Ireland, and England, they would take the women and marry them, well, not marry them, but have children with them. Then their family would send over brides. They would send the native women back without the children, which meant that without children, they were relegated to low status. But like your ancestor, my ancestor married his
Hmm.
woman, and
Made honest men and women out of them.
yeah, and they had a son that was almost exactly 100 years up. He was born in October, almost exactly 100 years to the when I was born.
Really?
Thought that was it doesn't mean anything, but I always found it really interesting.
It's still kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we were around with the red river carts, those big carts with two wheels.
Hmm.
And well, my mom loved history, especially our history. So my family moved to Alberta, I guess. Well, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta. And one of my ancestors, a woman, was basically a shaman, or I called her a hedge witch. And she would, because they were so far from doctors, she was the local doctor.
Hmm.
And
Oh, that's,
she had a cure for cancer,
hmm.
which of course got lost.
Well, of course.
Yeah,
Can't have that now.
yeah.
So it's funny because I listened to a lady on YouTube and she is the hedge witch.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Well, you know what hedge witches were, right? They were the women that looked after, helped people bear children or fix scratches or allergies and gave them herbs and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And which is quite different from being back then a witch. So, but I suspect a lot of the hedge witches were quite knowledgeable in any of the forms that the witches would practice.
Yeah, so that's her YouTube thingy as the Hedge Witch Tarot.
And is she in Alberta?
No, she's South African.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
But she's in US, Canada.
No, in South Africa.
No wonder where she got the term hedge witch from, because they are not generally from. They had different names for the shaman down in Africa.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that came to be.
Well, she's probably well educated. She's probably well educated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's quite. I quite enjoy listening to her.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So,
don't really have too much more to talk about.
well, how long have we been on? 40 minutes. That should be good enough.
About 45 minutes.
Yeah. Do you have anything to add, Susan? Because I also know Susan's quite wise too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And well traveled. Which
Oh, let's see if Marianne has something. I haven't even read anything by her for a long time.
okay, by then we're going to sign off too, Susan. Suzanne, pardon me, I'm so bad. I've known her for years and years and years and still choose to do it on me.
So there's I just ran across this thing. I guess it must be a ferret or something, and this cat. Trying to see if I can get it.
Oh yeah, the ferret's chasing the cat.
And the ferret. He's going, big fork and mouse, big fork and mouse, big fork and mouse. Holy crap, big fork and mouse.
You're the one that sent me the picture of the dog going through the mosquito door and the cat just sort of bouncing and bounding through it. That was hilarious. I passed that along to a whole bunch of people. Sorry, Susanna. Suzanne. God, yeah. It's all right. You can call me by the wrong name too. I don't mind. Most people do.
So she just has a little thing here saying sometimes finding peace within is more important than finding sense in what you're going through. Allow your journey to unfold and let life surprise you. All is well.
Oh, that's true, right? So things I keep telling people when they heal, it doesn't have to be the truth. It has to feel like the truth to you. And Susanna says, "Farkin, ha ha ha." We are definitely going to use that from now
on. Yep.
But
well, I guess with that, I haven't hardly eaten anything today. I've just been busy with more appointments and.
Yeah, I'm hungry too, actually.
I just grabbed a box of salt and pepper wings and threw them in the oven.
Oh, sounds good.
So
I made Elle buy some puffed potatoes.
Some what? Puff?
Just hang on. What are they called, the puffed potatoes? Can't hear me. Elle! What are the puffed potatoes called? No. Well, they're little things like this and they're puffed.
Where do you get them?
Tater tots.
Oh, tater tots.
Yeah. So I made her buy some of those the other day.
Well, at the little store here, they're bringing in, I guess, the Blind Bay market out there is doing pre-cooked, pre-packaged homemade meals.
Oh, yeah.
So I bought a shepherd's pie last night.
Nobody can make shepherd's pie.
I can.
But I mean, you cannot buy them ready-made. because they do not have.
Well, I don't know. She used, of
Okay.
course, you're going to use packaged gravy and stuff like that, but you could definitely taste the packaged gravy, and it was way too salty. And I
Uh,
don't know how she did her potatoes because I've never tasted potatoes like that before. They kind of, I'm wondering if they're not even like potato flakes.
oh yeah, well, there's very Betty Crocker, I think it is, has actually good mashed in
Right.
instant potatoes. The other ones, because I love I love mashed potatoes. My family don't, so I buy separate. Yeah, the last few weeks, last few years, they've just been horrible.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever, I mean, I think we might have when we were kids once in a while had potato flakes.
Yeah, but they're
They
no,
just don't taste the same.
no, then the ones they have now are just disgusting.
And so she's got a few other meals there, like curried chicken and Thai chicken dishes with rice, and I don't
But
know.
then the problem with rice is it's always hard
Hmm.
when you buy stuff like that.
Yeah, so I think I'll just depend on my own cooking. So that's what I kind of. People are going to think I'm a real snob at some point. When I taste stuff like that, I think, man, people have never had really good food in their life. I'm thinking
There's a
it's
lot
like
of people
it's
that,
like the new Greek place that we have here in town. I find it very tasteless, flavorless.
oh yeah,
Like I must have at some point had really good Greek food because I have not had Greek food that tasted that good ever. Even when Minos was here, I didn't find their food all that tasty.
yeah, I only went once or twice.
I mean, to me, a Greek potato is supposed to be lemony.
Yeah,
All the Greek places just do a plain old roasted potato.
the
Same thing with the
problem
rice. The rice should be a little bit lemony too. She did, I don't know, some kind of a turmeric rice or something, but flavorless, like no flavor to it whatsoever.
turmeric rice, that's Middle East.
And for $18, we had a half a pita. I swear to God, she took three little pieces of chicken about this big, pounded them out, and put them on a skewer. A scoop of rice and a half of a potato for $18.
Yeah, and
So I don't think I'm going to go back there again. Yet other people are posting how marvelous it is and how great it is. And I'm thinking, and that's when I think to myself, you people have never had good food. Because if
you
you're
do
giving a
realize
thumbs up to
this
half the
is
food in this town,
an isolated little town, and a lot of people haven't gone farther than Vancouver.
I would say, but even Vancouver has great food.
Yeah, Edmonton, not yeah, Edmonton has got good food.
I'm pretty sure it must have been Vancouver that I had really good Greek food.
Yeah, but uh, but yeah, there's I don't know about now, but when I first lived here, people did not know about other cultures or other foods.
Well, and that's another thing how fortunate we are in Canada and the States that we
Mm.
have a diversity of foods.
Yeah,
I mean, if you go to China, all you're getting is Chinese food. If you go to Italy, you're
but
just getting
each
Italian.
state has its own, or province, I guess it is in China, has their own taste. There's Cantonese, there's
Well, I
Szechuan.
know, but it's still Chinese food. You can't get Italian, you can't get Greek, you
Oh
can't
yeah,
get
I know,
French, you can't
but they're
get,
all
you
different
know.
flavors.
Hmm.
Szechuan is really, really hot.
Hmm.
Cantonese, not so bad.
Hmm.
But uh, the Indian place downtown, Peppercorn, is turned changed its name to Peppercorn.
Where? Which
The
one?
one beside Askew's,
Oh,
but it's still the same restaurant. They just changed their name.
it's not new owners. I thought new owners took over that last summer, or
They might have because, but they just had new owners a couple years ago.
maybe that might be who I'm thinking of. I didn't know they changed their name.
Yeah, no, because Ellen and I drove downtown, and she says that's a new name. And we Googled it, same, it's still an Indian restaurant, it's new name.
Hmm.
So, yeah, because we went there when Jen was here at Christmas time, and the people who owned it then, they're really nice people. She sat down with me and I read her poem.
I keep forgetting to go for Indian food. The only time I've ever gone was when I went with you.
We don't go very much
And
anymore.
that was how long ago? That was a
Oh,
long time ago.
I think it was pre-COVID.
Mm, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Do you notice, do you date things pre-COVID, after COVID?
Yeah.
Me too. I think that is a set date for people of these generations.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyhow, we've
All
talked
right.
a lot about food. I think that's because both of us sat down hungry. I'm going to,
Well, it's this, that, and the other thing. There's no specific thing to talk about.
that's ex
Normally on, well, we normally do. We normally have a food section. We normally have a beauty section. We normally have a health section.
well, what I would recommend to people is they look into methylene blue. You can get it off Amazon. And what it does is it's supposed to be good for your complexion.
What's it called?
Methylene blue.
Hmm.
It's supposed to be good for your complexion and it works on the mitochondria. Hey, Jennifer,
Hi, Jen.
you're just going, it works on mitochondria, it cleans it up and makes them strong again. And so it prevents mental aging. And it also works on your blood vessels. Yeah, I saw that. I was
Bought
thinking,
myself some springtime. I'm bringing springtime into my house today.
yeah, you're just pushing it, hey?
Sorry.
You're pushing it, eh? It's a good time to push it. But it opens up the blood vessels
Oh, I'm
and
gonna have to look for that.
yeah, just Google methylene blue or if you talk to AI, ask AI to bring up all the information on
Well,
methylene.
I've never ever thought of talking to AI, so I'll have to maybe think and try it.
Oh, yeah, it's really interesting. Don't talk to it about politics. It's just
Well,
really,
that's kind of
really
like
uninteresting.
there's
But
the new iPhone or new Samsung or something. New phone is out there. They've got this instead of AI, it's called Gemini. You can talk to Gemini about everything and anything. We can carry on conversations all day long if you want.
and with GPT-2.
Hmm.
And they're all probably interrelated. But I mean, I asked them about that, and he gave me, well, if you do that, try this, and let me know if it works for you. And it was a list of stuff like this. And I'm going, oh my God,
Huh.
it was really interesting. And he said, have you tried? And I said, yeah, I use that actually, lion's mane.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good for all this. But what you have to do if you want to keep the information, you have to copy. I told you earlier, copy and paste. And it's easier to do on my computer than on my phone because I can't read stuff on my phone. It's too small.
Mm.
So
Yeah, that is a problem. I always enlarge it and then have to scroll this way and then bring
yeah,
it back and scroll again this way and bring it back.
so it's easier to do on your computer for that sort
I
of
don't
thing.
have, I don't, for some reason, I just do not have the patience to sit at my computer.
But you know what you do? Put it on an email and send it to yourself. And then when you get on your computer, then you can look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's what I have to do because I can't see. But yeah, I was quite amazed at how all the information that came out, and it came out like that.
Huh.
It's not like dun dun dun. It's like boom. And I go, crap. I have to laugh.
Well, let's go to the bathroom.
Exactly.
Little good bathroom read.
Yeah, but it gave me information like chondroitin. I never thought to take that with
Chondroitin. Now, what? Why does that? I know.
it. I don't know because I know my daughter told me to
I
take.
think I used to take it, but I can't remember now.
Yeah, but my daughter told me to take the hyaluronic acid. and I forget, I think it's for anti-aging and less wrinkles, right? And they said, we'll take it with chondroitin. And the cheapest one I could find was one with one on Amazon for $20.
Is there another name with the chondroitin?
Yeah, chondroitin. Let me see if I can pull it
Maybe
up.
that's why it's not, because I know that I used to, I'm positive I took that.
Let me go on to what I have bought, because I just bought it and it came yesterday. Oh, here it is. Chondroitin MSM. And this one has glucosamine in it, which I need anyhow because my joints are
Yeah, no, that's not what I was thinking. That it's like a something chondroitin or chondroitin something. Can't remember. I'm going to have to look because I'm pretty sure I know that I used to take that. And why did I stop?
probably because you forgot about it one day and then there's so many things to take.
Well, I think that's it. I have so many things like there. I don't know. It's just so many things. You got to take this. You got to drink that. You got to eat that. You got to do that. You got to do. I just run out of energy one day, and I just
Well, you
forgot.
get so many things that you kind of forget to buy it to get it again, right? Oops.
Yeah. What was it for? What's it for? Chondroitin. Yes, Jennifer says, I agree with what you said earlier, and I think how things were before and after COVID. Yeah, it's definitely a distinct timeline on things that happened before and after, and how things were different, and how they're.
You know what? Unless they were anybody that's 10 years old and up is going to probably date things from then.
Okay, how do you spell it? Chondroitin.
CH
Huh?
CHONDROITIN.
CH.
Yeah. ON D.
Chondroitin. Oh, there it is. Chondroitin.
Would it be sulfate that you're looking for?
Oh, so glucosamine chondroitin. Oh, okay. So yeah, I used to take glucosamine for my knees and stuff. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, now I know exactly what I'm was.
Yeah. I already have glucosamine for other things.
So yeah, it's for your cartilages to keep fluid in your joints.
That's what it's for. Yeah, for keeping. That's a hyaluronic acid. It keeps things moist and flexible and keeps the cellular cells linings more flexible. That's I remember now.
Yeah,
And
now I remember.
yeah, glucosamine chondroitin. They're all glucosamine joint support. But it's just there's so many things you can do, and it's amazing. A lot of the things that AI brought up, I actually have, so I was pretty interested in it.
Hmm.
Oh, Jennifer says she uses it for her bones as well.
Mm-hmm.
So try it with her hyaluronic acid, Jennifer. It's probably cheaper down in the States,
Oh,
but
I'm sure.
NMN is really good for a lot. It supports a lot of these things. And it's another thing that keeps the body younger and everything like that. Anyhow, we should just call it because I'm
Yeah,
hungry.
we're an hour now.
Yeah.
We keep trying to get off.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You know me, I don't say goodbye ever.
Well, it's hard to once you start talking about stuff.
Yeah. But yeah.
All right. Well, Jennifer, I hope you have a good night. Suzanne's already in bed.
Well, it's 3 hours later there.
Oh, well, see, Suzanne, you and I get along great, I think, because I'm usually in bed by 9 o'clock too.
But she has to be up early in the morning.
I have no excuse. I'm just in bed early and I sleep. Like Charlie, I think Charlie is starting to get into winter mode or something because there's no 4 o'clock in the morning wake ups anymore. There's not even a 6 o'clock wake up anymore. He just
I did.
he just comes and spoons in with me, and he puts his head on my shoulder and falls right back to sleep, and we sleep until 9ish.
I've been going to sleep really early, well before midnight, and I
Oh,
wake up till 10 o'clock today.
well, and that goes along with the energies that are out there. They say that you're going to be really tired, take all the time that you need to rest. And it also says, which is me, extra hungry. You're going to find just if you're extra hungry, it has everything to do with the energies.
I'm not extra hungry. I just don't have any. I have to cook everything from scratch. So
Oh, so do I. And I hate it. That's why I'm just now, I don't know. I eat so much yogurt and cottage cheese,
yeah, but
cucumbers with hummus.
I make crackers. There's cottage cheese, 2 eggs, and cheese, grated cheese. I beat the crap up
Oh,
and cook it for 20 minutes, and it's done.
yep. I've been
15 minutes,
doing.
pardon me. When you cook it for 20 minutes, it's brown.
Mm,
And
yeah,
that
I've been doing a pot up of hard boiled eggs too, and just snacking on those. It's very hard. I'm finding it really hard to cook for myself these days, even though I love to cook.
but one person is sort of
It's just not interesting me anymore to cook for me.
yeah, the only person I know who cooks for herself is Jen.
Oh, my sister cooks like
Yeah,
gourmet meals for herself.
yeah, and so does
Mind you, she's been alone for 30 years, so she's used to it.
yeah.
I've been alone for what, 3 months? And I'm finding it very hard.
Well, if I'm overtired, I don't want to cook. And Mel says, "Don't worry about it," so I don't.
No, like there's sometimes I'll just get out of my bath and I'll have a piece of toast if I'm hungry, and then I go to bed.
Yeah. Well, they say that a lot of people say if you don't sleep well at night, take a tablespoon of just peanut butter.
Really?
Yeah, because it has the tryptophan in it,
Oh, didn't know
and
that.
it
Maybe I should tell my sister that.
and it stops you from waking up at 3 in the morning.
Huh.
Yeah, somebody said today they were waking up at 3 in the morning. I should tell them. I should tell them to take a teaspoon. But with you don't want to take the one with the fake sugar in it.
No,
To get the just peanut butter.
I've been. Oh, excuse me. Bedtime. I've been taking a tablespoon of olive oil before I go to bed.
I heard that's really good too. Maybe do get peanut butter, mix it together with olive oil.
Yeah, I don't know. I do my tea, so that knocks me out, and
Yeah,
I really don't have any problems sleeping. That is for sure.
yeah,
Even through all the stresses that I was going through and all the crap I was going through, I still slept like a baby.
that's really good. I
Mm.
used to sleep really well too until I had kids, and then I never got back to sleeping again.
And Charlie is all of a sudden taken to sleeping under here on that bag that you gave me again. He hasn't been there for months. All of a sudden, there he is.
Okay, well, let's call it.
Okay, see you on Sunday.
Yes, 12:30-ish for you and I, one-ish for Pacific time for everybody else.
Hmm.
Should be good.
Should be okay. Or maybe one day we'll maybe try doing 12 for us and 12:30 online, just for Eva because she goes to bed early.
Yeah, I just it's that I have a
Oh,
hard
right. You don't like it that early.
I don't because I putz in the morning. Uh,
Hmm.
Elle doesn't leave for work until 10:30, and then I putz for and I suddenly go, "Oh my God, I'm late."
Yeah. Okay. Well, we will see you all at 1 o'clock Pacific Daylight Time.
Yeah, well, I don't know what, it's just Pacific time.
Pacific time.
I don't think we've moved into daylight time yet.
Oh no, we're still on standard. Somebody wants to stay on standard time. I'm like, are you out of your mind? I said, let's stay on daylight time. I don't enjoy it being dark at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, well, they probably go to the winter summer one. Makes more sense.
Well, you would think it would make more sense, but there's people trying to push this time to keep this time. I'm like, no.
They're pretty dumb. Some people are pretty dumb, but it will probably depend on what the states do and things like
And I
that.
don't get that. Why do we need to put our time schedules to what the state's doing? I mean,
Because
Saskatchewan never changes their time. It
that's,
doesn't make any difference to them. They still do business with the states.
I know I think it's just, okay, I won't say it out loud.
Yes. We can
Yeah,
say BS, right?
yeah, I suspect you.
Frickin' BS.
Yeah. And, and because I thought the same thing. Everybody can figure out like Alberta's an hour ahead,
Hmm.
and it doesn't take
You know,
nothing.
one thing I did not know, we had 8 time zones across Canada.
Well, almost every single province is a time zone, except for I think Quebec and Ontario are the same time zone.
Hmm.
I'm not sure, which doesn't make sense because they're both the biggest provinces we've got.
Hmm.
But then Newfoundland's got a half-hour time zone.
I know, and that's crazy too. They're like 3.5 hours difference. It's like,
Yeah. Well, India is 12 and a half hours difference,
hmm.
which is really messes me up when I have to do a reading in India.
Hmm.
Yeah. Just
All
that
right.
a half hour.
Let's say bye bye.
All right. Bye. Namaste, everybody.
Have a good week.
I see you on see you